Hello, this is Ernest Burley Jr., your CIA, your cool insurance agent, back at you again with some more great information on insurance. I'm a licensed insurance agent with over 30 years experience in the industry and clients all across the country in different capacities, whether it be auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, long-term care, disability, health insurance, renters, condos, business, church policies, what have you, professional liability, the whole nine, okay? So the purpose of this podcast is to educate you, to empower you, to enlighten you with clear, objective, unbiased information so you can make good decisions for yourself and for your family and or for your business, because I know there are a lot of business owners out there also, okay? So today's podcast, let's jump right on into it. I don't like the long intros like I like to say every week, right? So today's podcast is whole life versus index universal life. Whose cash value is better? Now, we've discussed like various types of life insurance in detail on previous podcasts. So I'm not going to go into that today. There's often a big debate whether you should get term coverage or permanent coverage, and which one is best and things of that nature. We've discussed the pros and cons of both of those types of coverage, right? Term versus perm. So I'm not going into detail on that. Today, we're going to look at two popular types of permanent life insurance: whole life insurance versus index universal life insurance. So people in the industry, like life insurance agents, other insurance professionals, like to debate which is better, right? A typical layperson has no clue. They don't know one from the other, right? So it's up to an educated, informed, unbiased, honest life insurance agent to show the differences, right? So if a person wants to build cash value, because some people do want a policy that builds equity, has a cash value to it, and they want to know which one is the best for them, right? So I get that. If you want that type of policy, something that's going to be permanent, build equity, build cash value that you can borrow against or what have you, then you want to know which one is the best for you, of course, right? And these are like two popular ones that are floating out there. Whole life, a lot of people are familiar with that. Index universal life is a little newer on the scene, but it's been out there for quite a while also. So I'm going to answer that question point blank. Now, whole life insurance, the cash value, the guaranteed cash value in a whole life insurance policy is going to be better than the guaranteed cash value in an index universal life policy, hands down. Okay, I've been doing this for, quarter century now. Oh man, I can't believe it. It's been over 25 years. But yeah, I'm appointed with dozens of life insurance carriers, and I'm just telling you objectively, when you look at the guaranteed cash value on a whole life policy versus the guaranteed cash value on an index universal life policy, hands down, the whole life policy is going to beat it. Here's what some life insurance agents try to do. They try to muddy the water by looking at the non-guaranteed side of the index universal life policy. And that's not good. That's misleading. So let's not do this. Let's compare guarantees to guarantees. Guaranteed cash value, guaranteed cash value. Whole life policy, a good whole life policy is going to beat that index universal life policy hands down every time. Okay. Now, the index universal life policy has better potential to have a greater cash value, but that's potential. Like your baby has the potential to be a great football player, right? Or a great scientist, or a great lawyer, or a great doctor, or a great basketball player. That's potential. It's not guaranteed, right? So we're talking about guarantees here. So the potential in an index universal life policy, yeah, you have the potential to have more cash value. You have those non-guaranteed columns, which we've gone over on previous podcasts, right? But I wouldn't hedge my bets on non-guarantees. You want to compare the guarantees to guarantees. And if you want to, be a little risk taker and say, okay, well, I could probably make more on these non-guaranteed columns, that's on you, but it's not guaranteed. Watch the details, okay? Look at the details. And the index universal life policy does, cost a little bit less than the whole life policy. Not that much more, but a little bit less. But that's it. I just wanted to give you some clear objective information on that. So if you're looking at building equity and a cash value, which one has the better guaranteed cash value between a whole life policy, index universal life policy? Whole life policy all day long, okay? But the index universal life policy does serve a purpose. So I'm not knocking it, because I write those plans for clients all day long too. So it just depends on the person's budget, what their situation is, what their goals are, because some people don't care about a cash value. So if you don't care about a cash value, you just want a permanent policy, then the index universal life policy is probably the way to go because it's going to be a little bit less, right? So it depends on the person's situation. And that's it for today's podcast, okay? Short and easy. So the recap for today is that both of these plans can be permanent types of policies. Both policies are considered permanent life insurance, whole life insurance, and also the index universal life policy. But we talked about how you want to make sure that index universal life policy is guaranteed for life because it has to be illustrated that way and run that way. We're not going to go into those details. Got to pull up the other podcasts on that. The takeaways. The big takeaway is that the whole life is going to have a better guaranteed cash value than the index universal life policy. So we're not going to have like a ton of takeaways. That's the main takeaway. Okay. And that's it. I want to thank you guys for listening again. I really appreciate listening in. You're listening in every week and getting the comments and saying, hey, you know, I appreciate it. That's great information. Thanks. I'm listening to you. So it's just great to hear that type of information. Or if you have a differing opinion, hey, I have no problems with that either. To answer your questions or to, you know, have a little dialogue on that, no problem whatsoever. If you want to connect with me, my email address is ernestburleyjr@gmail.com. It's just my full name @gmail.com. So that's ERNESTBURLEYJR@gmail.com. Or you can call my firm at 301-262-2600. Again, that's 301-262-2600. All of my podcasts are on YouTube, so please go to my YouTube channel. It's just my name, Ernest Burley Jr. So please go in there, subscribe, ask your family members, your friends, your church members, your business cohorts, your coworkers, everyone to, hey, check out this guy, Ernest Burley. He has a lot of different podcasts on there that may be of interest to you and your family and or your business or your church. And also have some like 1-minute snippets on there too that talk about a whole wide variety of things, anything from like home insurance to auto insurance to life insurance to real estate and being a business owner and being a good employee and employer, all different types of podcasts on there and 1-minute segments on different topics too. So please subscribe, check out those videos because I think they'll be a help to you. Okay, that's it. Thank y'all for tuning in and listening in. Until we speak again, y'all be safe out there and take care. Okay, this is your CIA Ernest Burley Jr. signing off. Until next time, okay? Your cool insurance agent.